Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk with member Bei Zhang, who shares her Land Academy success stories and maybe some potential failures. We'll see what she talks about it.
Yeah.
Bei, am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Is it Zhang?
Yeah, Zhang, exactly right. Sounds like Zhang.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit. I mean, right before in the pre-show, Bei, you were talking about how you just got back from China. That's super interesting. Tell us what happened.
Yeah. Well, this is a special trip, and me, my mother-in-law, and my husband, my 9-year-old daughter, and then also our nephew. We all come together to Beijing to meet my parents this side. So spent 2 weeks there, and then visit the Great Wall, the Forbidden City, those parks. It's fabulous. Yeah, it's fun.
Wow.
I'm jealous.
So it was all just a social fun trip. No work.
I try to cut up my workflow. I try to forget there has to work, just fully enjoying my trip. So customer who leave the voicemail to me, I feel bad. I never really returned a call. Yeah.
You have to do that sometimes. That's okay. That's not your norm. I know it. You have to really, we have a trip coming up actually soon. By the time this airs, we'll be back from the trip. But actually, we'll be on the trip. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're gonna go to Santa Barbara, and I'm like really trying to orchestrate it so I don't have to do that much. There's always something I've got to check on, a few little things. But if I could do an hour a day, then it's perfect. I'm okay with that.
Yes.
So. What's the real estate? How does real estate work in China these days?
Yeah.
I think it's highly regulated by the government. So the government, they're really involved in a lot of those policies. So I think you have to have a very deep relationship with someone in that industry, in the government to help you. It's not like everyone has equal opportunity. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I just read that Chinese individuals buying residential real estate in this country dropped off last year or this year by like 30%.
Really?
And everybody wants Florida because it's inexpensive.
Really?
But for some reason, I don't know if it's a local economy there. Do you have any insights on that?
I think it's just like the prices are very high in those cities. It's just ridiculously high. You think about how much you earn versus your salary and the housing price. The ratio is really high. Not like in the U.S., your salary, you add together in the middle class, probably in, 6 years. If you don't assume you don't spend anything, you can pay up the whole house in a middle class type of house. But in China, it's just like for 30 years, it's just like a mission impossible. I feel the ratio is too high versus how much you earn, how much the house price is. It's ridiculously high. Yeah.
Oh, so you think it's rooted in an earning to spending ratio, which I guess all residential real estate is.
Yes. So when people, they travel to the U.S., they see the price, they're like, what? That is ridiculously low. And I have the cash. The thing is, they have a lot of cash. They're trying to looking for the investing, opportunities. And then they just feel like, hey, let's just, buy 5 houses one time. So a lot of people do like that.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember it was a big deal when I was in New York like 2 years ago. Everybody know who bought the Waldorf? All I kept saying was, it was the Chinese. So that some investors, like you're saying, maybe had a lot of cash and they just bought that whole thing.
I think I've been doing this for a long time. And over the years, we've sold tons of real estate land to people who are out of this country and shocked and amazed at how cheap it is.
And how easy it is to transfer it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Even this time when I meet my friends, and I think they immigrate to Canada, and then they're like thinking about how much I paid for my own house. And they're like, what? We pay like at least 10 times more than what you paid. How, they just cannot understand why the price here is so good.
That's interesting.
So you're in Indiana, right?
Yes, I'm in Indianapolis. Yes.
Did you fly to Chicago? How did you get to China?
Fly to Newark, New Jersey, that airport, and then fly from there. I think it's like 14 or 13 hours flight. So it's a long trip. Yeah.
That's super
Right
cool.
into Beijing?
Yeah, right to the Beijing, the capital airport. Yes.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah, you should go visit someday.
I want to. I know.
Yeah.
Hit me up next time you're on your way. I would love to go with you, babe. We'd have a good time.
Yeah, you guys should.
Yeah, I can be your tour guide to stop someone rip you off.
Yeah, so fun. You should tell how we met.
Yes. So that's I think that's a good we talk about this. So basically, again, China. I grown up, and then I think it just in my corporate world towards the end of 2016, I just don't really feel happy. And then I connected with one of the investors in the Land Academy, and then so he introduced me to meet us in person. And I feel so bad that day. I was like, I didn't really know. They sounds like really cool, Jill and then Steve, but I haven't really know anything about them or their program, that kind of thing. But after I talk with you guys, I feel like it's so positive. And then when I go back to work, on Monday I start searching your podcast. I start doing a lot of research and start listening. I'm like, oh, this is so I cannot wait to take actions. And then your podcast for me is almost like a treat. When I drive to the corporate world, drive to the office, back to the office, I just feel like why they're so happy and they make everything sound so easy. Why I have to feel like sad every day? I want to looking for a new journey in my life experience. So I just want to be like you as well. Be happy. That's the first thing I want to be. So when my mind feel calm down, I feel like, hey, I can focus on what versus how. Corporate world always focus on how.
Right.
That's a nice compliment. People ask us a lot, like, are you guys really that happy or is it a big act? And here's my answer. Jill wakes up happy every single day. Me, not so much.
Oh, no, I don't believe so.
It's good. I love our story. It's so funny. Yeah, the first time Bay met us, we're buying her a beer, and she's like, "Who are you guys?"
Yep.
And then here we are how many years later?
I think you're in Scottsdale for like another, different event.
Another program. And then I just feel like I like to know the how part, exact how to do it. Right. And then I think the data is the key thing, is my bottleneck. I just cannot figure out how can I scrap the data. How can I get the data? And then so the other investor, his name is Steve, and he said, yeah, I know like Land Academy, they really have the data program. So I'm like, hey, that's what I really need. And then I really like your style. I feel like every day you're just so real. And then you always, seriously, when I drive to my corporate world, I was like, oh my God, I get 6 meetings back to back for 8 hours. How can I go through that? And then when I listen to the podcast, I'm like, hey, that make me feel so positive. And then I start, doing the deals. I think because we meet at, I think, April 2016. Yeah. So I started my first deal actually is July 2016. So that year I probably did 12 or some deals. The size is pretty big. Like I have no idea why I get those, good experience. And then so 2017, I just feel like, hey, I'm ready to leave my corporate world. So I just doing the full time. It's a very good experience.
Yeah. How many deals did you do in 17? Do you think?
I think 17, I probably did somewhere close to like, I think it's 48. That's
48 deals?
Oh, in 17. Great. And last year, 2018 was 68, I'm thinking. Nice. Yeah, not a huge, but. And this year, I did some research for this show. I just reviewed just now. I think so far as of today, I did 56, something like that. Yeah.
Oh.
I got the wrong impression on our webinars because we talk about that one deal that was giving you trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
she's doing a lot.
We didn't talk about all the great deals you're doing.
Yeah. And you're usually doing the bigger dollar amounts, aren't you, Bae? You went right at it.
Yeah, the very interesting, like the first deal I brought it is so funny. Like, it's a title company right away involved in. So I kind of start with a title company with the first 2 or 3 deals. It's all title company. They teach me a lot, and then I start doing those a little bit smaller deals, and I feel like I click a little bit better with a larger dollar amount of deal versus the very tiny one. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe there has some kind of power. I just, it's a harder question. I don't know.
Love it. I think it's the bigger return on the bigger deals for me.
I mean,
I like those.
you've obviously made this work for you. So
Yep.
what can you attribute that to?
What is the question? I don't quite understand.
You've obviously made our program and land investment itself really work to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I mean, telling the truth here, because I guess it's the spirit of telling the truth. You're a very unlikely corporate success candidate for Land Academy. And so I'm wondering if you can share with us what it is about land and what it is about you that's making this work.
Yeah, yes, thank you for explaining that, elaborate. Yes, so I think it's probably the personality. I think the personality decided your life a lot of times. I'm more like a person looking for experience versus the security. So, because 15 years ago, I come to the U.S. It's a huge journey for me for go to business school. And then I work for, different, as a marketer for years, working for the agency side, working for the client side, and all kinds of the industry like customer products, medical device, healthcare, pharmaceutical. I think it probably just like I keep jumping here and there. I just trying to feel what I like because I don't want to waste my time. I think the life is short. Why we have to worried about the retirement money or funds to trade your golden years for just the later year when you're 70. So that's how I keep looking. And then I like to control my life. In the corporate world, I think it's fancy because my last role is as a brand manager for a top 10 pharmaceutical company in the world. So to manage one of their cancer drug for lung cancer. I think at first you were thinking about it's fun, it's glamorous, that kind of feeling. But I just feel in the corporate world, you probably hard to control your schedule, your life. You're kind of like flat, go with the flow. And then again, people they really focus on doing the how part versus the what part. We're using one meeting to prepare another meeting and just do the how polish, but nobody really worried about what's the project going to lead us to. And I feel like that's like a waste of my time. So what I'm looking for is I don't like politics too much because I think that's a waste of my time. I just want to find a area I could, I can control who I want to work with, what I want to work with, and then when I want to work. So that's the 3 part I like to find. And then 2008, I got a book. I think it's Rich Dad Poor Dad, the famous writer Robert Kiyosaki. Really make me think about, if you want to be, the working bee part or the investor that part and how the money flows. That just opened my mind. So there always have something in my back of my head, like where I should find this opportunity. So I'm so glad I connected with Land Academy. You guys teaching me tons of things. And then the last 2 years, I feel like I learned from Land Academy, from my peers, from you, Stephen and Joe, and then from my customers, from those sellers, from those county persons, all those lawyers, and that kind of thing. I feel like I'm just like learning. I'm so happy about. I'm not wasting my time, and then
Great.
I could be very flexible. So I guess it's just entrepreneur experience.
Yeah.
My spirit kind of lead me to here.
That's so great.
You have such a good attitude.
Yeah.
It's amazing, actually.
It's huge.
I think
the first one, our first live event, you were the very first one. I remember. I loved it. And I'm pretty sure, I think I saw you on the list for this October, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just feel like connecting with people in our community. Just you feel lonely every day. Sometimes you want to have some feedback, right? And then my family, like, they could give me some level of feedback, but their feedback is, they're not, the mindset is different.
Right.
So I appreciate that, but I want to see the feedback from you and from the other peers. I want to see how other people are doing.
Exactly. I love it. It's going to be fun to see, fast forward a year. We should talk about that actually at this event. It'd be fun to talk with everybody that was maybe at the end, talk about where we've all grown from last year to this year. Because from what I've been hearing, it's astronomical.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Yeah.
So I know you're in our advanced group. What do you think of that and those webinars that we hold on every Thursday?
I think we talk about more specific questions. Maybe they're more specific, especially we focus on the acquisition part versus the general phone call. You get all kinds of questions. And this advanced group is more, I think, for people who had some experience and then they are looking for some other niche side. And then some of the thought process is interesting. I like to listen. Yeah. I like to. Too. Yeah.
You two women are role models for young girls all over.
Oh,
absolutely. Like taking life and careers and just made it work for you guys.
Yeah. I was stuck in that corporate world too. I remember thinking, why am I working so hard for somebody else? I'd rather work this hard for me.
Exactly. I just feel corporate, again, people there has, if you want to push in one thing, it's so hard. So many too many cooks in the kitchen, I would say. And then right now, like as an entrepreneur, I know like Steve and Joe, you guys have different, little mini corporations, different projects. That's so fun is you get to figure out what you want to do and where you want to go. So really, that's your baby. You get to decide how the baby grows.
Exactly.
Of all the ways to describe those little other corporate projects that we have going on, fun is not how I describe it at all.
That's where we differ. That's one of the many ways that we differ. Bay knows.
I think just after because every day I think just a little tiny bit things will influence my mood. Sometimes even a hate call or some people, they have some ridiculous request or the county say you violate this. It just those little things will make you feel kind of like down. But once you just get up and just, like Joe, you always say you reset yourself. I take that notes. I think that's a good advice. So I reset myself and I just feel like when you have a different mood, you treat the same thing differently. So when you solve it, after you solve it, you feel like, hey, that's nothing. I made it. So it was fun in a way.
It is. I do. I still look at these challenges. We're working on bringing back Title Mind, and we have a new partner in our office, and we're doing stuff with him, and he's going through all the steps, and he hasn't done it at this level, I think, before.
Yeah.
And he's had other companies, but not like this, and has not seen like this many hoops and this much vagueness to it. It's really kind of funny. And I talked to him about the other day. I said, you know what, Ken? This is one of those things that every time I get into it and I see this many issues and this many problems and this many things we've got to get past, I like cheer because I'm like, how many people just dropped out because of that? That's why we're going to do it and other people can't.
Yep.
Yes. I think our business model is very simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. I always feel like almost like you have, if you only have one child, you get pregnant, that's easy. But if you have 10 children there, and you pregnant the twins, it's so hard to take care of each of those little projects. That's how I feel. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Isn't that true? Isn't it probably funny? I'm sure you've had this too, Bay. Like even like you're traveling, you're talking to relatives, and you explain what you do, and they think, oh, it's just so easy. I could do that. And you're like, hold on a moment. It's not that. There's a lot of moving parts, and you can't be afraid of a lot of things like data.
So, Bay, what do you mean simple but you said it's easy? No, simple but time
not easy.
Is that how we describe it?
Yeah, I think because just like what Joe's talked about, there has a lot of moving parts. The concept is really easy. You find the deals and you just flip the deals, right? How easy is that? But there has a lot of, the process. how do you make the process when you operate that? I think the operational excellence, that's the challenge. How do you save your time? How do you manage your team? How do you using other people's strengths to help you? And then how do you, think about the process? I think it's about the process. How do you delete some of this work? How do you create a system? I think these are the things that's not easy. You have to make certain deals and to fully understand how do you talk to the customers and that kind of thing.
Exactly.
That's our biggest single challenge. What you just described, getting the right people in the right place, systematizing everything, and then really kind of ramping it up.
Yep.
So we conquered it with land a long time ago, but when it comes to companies like ParcelFact or TitleMine, like Jill, TitleMine.com, like Jill mentioned, and that we haven't released yet, it's like starting all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe after you make some mistakes, a couple like 100 deals, like you did for land, your other little company, what you understand what the flow should be. So that, you're gonna make some mistakes there to learn.
I have a question. Do you outsource any of this, and if so, what do you outsource and where?
Yeah, so I used to outsource quite a few, like marketing. I think marketing is the one I'm a marketer. I know it. I just don't want to do the repeat work. So I go to Upwork.com, right? So you can find those freelancers, and then I outsource these. So there has a woman. She worked with me probably for over 2 years, just help me with my customer services for the basic emails, and then with hosting, other data input. And then I wants to hire some assistants, but I think it's really hard to find a assistant because you have to buy the time, and then basically probably I'm in a learning process also. So I'm still learning how to manage the the freelancer, and then like a win-win situation, because sometimes they just don't want to do those work. I don't know. The relationship is hard, especially for remote.
Right.
That's such another challenge for us too. When you hire somebody, even if it's outsourced, how much time is it going to take to get your time to, because now you can't do that job anymore. You hired this person. So there's always this ramp up period where stuff's not getting done that you hired the person for. So I'm famous for waiting too long to hire the person, and then it's not the right person. So you got to hire them again. And it's a big challenge.
I thought, Steve, you talk in one of your podcasts, you mentioned about, just let that person get the things done, even though that's not you. But I think you made a really good comments. I'm like, okay, I'll let the thing get down, even though it's not my way to do it, but to get things done. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, I'll take my own advice.
You have to go back, think about your good advice. So Jill and you both give me really good advice.
Thank you. So tell me about what are your goals for this year? Do you have is it a deal goal? Is it a money goal? Whatever you want to share would be awesome.
I think my goal probably just overall, I want to do somewhere close to 100 deals, more like the number of the deals. And then the size, I want to make those deals a little bit higher dollar amount, a little bit higher, but lower is fine also, as long as they earn money. I just go with the flow, but focus on a little bit higher. And so, but I think the key thing is you got to buy more property. That way you can, keep selling more. So at first, I'm very happy whenever I sold the property in year 1 and year 2. And then once I sold out all of them, what should I do? And then Steve, you mentioned when you get excited is the time when you purchase a property in the right price. So now I get that. So I feel happy when I make a good acquisition, because I know a lot of times when I sell property, I really don't lower the price, or I really don't push or chase these people. I think it just price the value sell. So I just market there, and the people just book right away. So I know if I do my research by the right value, good price, and then I win. Yeah.
Exactly.
Good.
That's good. All right. So over 100 deals. You're coming to the event. And is this it for you now? I mean, you're in it, man. This is your career and just going to grow this business forever?
Yeah, I think
Other
this
property types?
basically, I think, I joined the House Academy
Oh,
early.
good.
Yeah, I think it's probably last 2 months, but I haven't really get a chance to learn yet before my China trip. But I'm gonna look. I think it just opened up more window. Definitely, I think real estate is very fun. There has different subcategory of real estate. So, land, house, even mobile home. I'm open to learn, but I think real estate will be where I like to go. I feel happy. When I feel happy, your heart in the harmony level, and when you do things, you feel you enjoy your life. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
That's so
She's
good.
really taking a spiritual approach to this.
It's
And a feeling approach. Like, I think that's great. It's really refreshing for me because I'm all numbers and angry,
No, you're funny. I don't think so.
I think maybe too for women, we might talk. You guys may not even know that you feel that way. I don't think because you guys don't talk like that. We will be open and share it. But I think you. When I say you, I mean men. You have a sense of accomplishment. You may not go back and reflect on it like we do.
Yeah.
So you get it.
All right. I mean, it's good. It's good to. I didn't know I could have feelings.
Yeah, don't get women's wrong. We like numbers also. We like to see numbers.
That's true. That's
like
true.
every day I'm checking all my numbers and I'm like, oh, good deal.
Good point. Yeah, Bay is her way through every deal.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like this time we traveled to China, and then people try to rip you off in certain markets. So we try to negotiate the price every time. My whole family from the U.S. side, they ask me to negotiate the price. And then there's, oh, you're such a hard negotiator. So when I buy property or when I sell, I do put the negotiator role there. So yeah, that's important. So I do look at the number, make sure they're right. And that's spiritual.
Because what's funny about that, Bay? You just said something that Stephen has said about me. He will go back and look at some of the deals that we're doing and ones that I've approved and not approved. He's like, you're a little tougher than I am on these guys. Like he would have said, yes. I would have accepted that. It's fine. It'll work out. I'm like, nope. I need to buy it at this.
Yeah.
And then so we're a little tougher. Yeah.
And it ends up actually the deal happens. You know?
Yeah, that's how I feel, Joe. You are tougher than Steve for that part. I can read you pretty well. That's how I feel.
Thank you.
She picked up on it.
Yeah, Bay and I connect. We're good. And look at us. We're happy and laughing and smiling all the way through it.
Yeah, you're inspiring me. I just feel like whenever I feel lonely, I just listen to more of the podcast.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Bay, are you the translator everywhere you go?
In China.
Yeah, just constant translation.
Yeah, mostly I'll do that. And my husband, he know a little bit, a very tiny bit. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and she can say pretty well, but she's not totally competent for that. If people speak fast, yeah, it was fun.
That's good. That's cool.
I'm sure that plays all into this. Yeah. She's like the role model / leader.
Yeah. One example. You too. Look at Bay. I mean, he's right. I mean, look at what you're teaching your daughter about what's possible and the changes that you've made in your life and leaving the corporate world and a very, very good paying job, by the way, to do this for yourself and then kill it. I mean,
what I heard happy about when I go back to China, I connected with some of my old, like 20 years old friends. We used to work together, whatever. And then I just feel they're still in the same area. I mean, good for them because that's what they, they feel stable. But I feel like, hey, within those 15 years, I learned so many things, even someday when I'm turning 90 something, when I look back what I did, I feel happy. I didn't waste my time. That's all I'm looking for. And the biggest thing I cannot bear is wasting my time to do something repeatedly again. Yeah.
People ask Jill and I what we're going to do in retirement. And I say we're going to go back and buy and sell real estate because it's about 10% of what we do right now. And it's like, I long for the days remember when we started out? We were in that back bedroom
just deal flow.
and just like I was buying it and she was selling it. And we were just counting the money.
That was it.
Yeah, I don't really perceive you retire or anything. I think you just probably make the flow slower a little bit, make the projects go more focused. That's all. And then it's just like do not need a lot of operational help. It's just the flow come in and the money come in right away.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you have any questions for us?
Question. So at this point, I don't have any question. I just feel like I'm so glad to connect with you and to see you in person. Almost feel like that and look forward. We can see each other probably another 2 months ish. Yeah. And I cannot wait, to meet other peers as well. And then to exchange ideas and connect it, within that group. Yeah. Very positive.
Me too.
Great.
Us too. Thank you.
Hey, we know your time's valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today anyway. Join us next time for another interesting episode.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community at landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Bae, I can't thank you enough.
That was fun.
It was a really fun interview.
It's nice. It's like I feel like we just got to have a nice little quick girly chat on the phone and connect. But we just wanted to share it with everybody. So
yeah, this is a casual talk almost, but it was fun. For me, it's a good experience. Thank you for your time. Interview me for this 1 hour is my treat. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
You guys.
See you. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.